Oh,
Well, I think you need some.
I guess I need to mute this, don't I? There we go. If it was only so easy. Hey, everyone.
Now we made it, finally. So great. So looking forward. I don't know if you still have the double feedback. I think you need a headphone for Instagram.
Do I? I just have no, I think I'm good.
Okay, good. Then I'm just hearing double. I just mute my.
Oh, are you hearing double?
Okay.
I don't even have a headset.
We'll make it somehow. We just get some feedback. So guys, can you tell us if you can hear us in a good way? And yay, I'm so happy. Like we had to reschedule from yesterday, but I'm happy we could finally made it.
Me too. Hold on, let me.
Yeah. Instagram is still loading.
Is the feedback gone now? Is it gone now, the feedback?
Now but now I can't hear you on Instagram anymore. But doesn't matter. We make that.
Oh no, I got it.
Like that. Yes, that's great.
Okay.
Cool. Early in the morning. I love the early hours.
I know, I do. I love the morning hours too. It's like, most of my clients have always been in like Eastern time or Australia. So I'm like, I'm not used to like actually having people in my time zone. So it's so lovely that you're actually.
Yes, and we are exactly in the same time. It's amazing. Like all those people now from Germany, they're just watching with 1 hour delay. But yeah. It's so great. So Sarah, let me just shortly introduce you and what we're up to do today here. So welcome everybody for joining our show live or in the replay. I'm so happy to have you here. And it's my pleasure to introduce you to my tutor, to my coach of last year, the person who guided me on my way to becoming an OBM. So I've been an OBM before, but with Sarah, I learned what it is really about to be an OBM and what does it take to. And Sarah was guiding hundreds of women on the same route and is working with amazing clients. But yeah, maybe you just want to introduce yourself, Sarah.
Yeah,
welcome.
I'd love to. So hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Noked. I am an expat, so I'm actually originally from Canada, but I do live in Israel. So this whole sort of getting to live in a different country, being able to live wherever, basically, opened up, I guess, a big, huge opportunity for me in about 2009 to really get into the online space and to start to work in the online business manager capacity. So I was really grateful back in like almost 2009 to have discovered this whole role. And, 3 babies later and a nice, juicy multi-6, almost 7-figure business later, I've had the privilege to train and work with amazing online business managers like yourself, Petra. You are like definitely a superstar in my book. So I just feel very privileged to be where I am and to be able to touch the lives of so many mothers, especially who really desire to have that flexibility. And that was what it was for me. I really couldn't work a 9 to 5, or here it's actually 9 to 6 and then a 40-minute commute. I'm like, when am I supposed to see my kids? Honestly. So I'm grateful for being here. I love your community. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's just like, you were so inspiring to me. So I remember myself working as a VA and working for 7 clients and managing them around. And I was like, why am I so overworked?
Overwhelmed.
So overwhelmed. And I just wanted to do the best I could give. And then I remember that 2 years ago in the summer, I was just Googling for managing clients, and then I was stumbling over your profile and over your website, and it took me just half a year. And then I remember we were in the call, and we had also this time zone confusing thing, like again jumping around.
Oh my god, it's so funny. My team, I'm like, oh my god, guys, you don't even know. This is like my signature. I'm not actually allowed to schedule things. I think one of the best signs that shows you're an OBM is that you just suck at being a virtual assistant. I'm like, I'm the worst VA. I can't even schedule meetings. I managed to screw it all up. But that's the secret. My team is like, oh no, time zones and Sarah, no. Someone else needs to send me a calendar invite, and I'm all good.
Yeah, but actually, I added this now to my SOP. Like from now on, everybody gets a calendar invite for
Well,
that.
there you go. I've improved your process. I feel good about that.
Yeah, and I remember that how inspiring it was to see how you juggle this, like also living in another country as I do at the moment, and you're having 3 kids.
Yes.
And yeah, and belated happy birthday again. Was your birthday on Sunday?
I know. We're counting backwards now.
And yeah, how do you imagine? How do you? Yeah, when did you see that? Okay, the role of a VA is too small, or what were the signals that guided you in that direction of becoming an OBM yourself, and then also becoming a trainer of OBMs?
I think, back in the day in 2009, I was coming at the business and at this role with, my own corporate transferable skills. I had an MBA. I was, not that a paper means anything, but I had a previous landscaping business. So I wasn't so new to entrepreneurship. And I wasn't, I really love all of the business development. Business development was my corporate background. So I love building businesses. Like that's the fun part for me. After it's built, I'm kind of like bored. So for me, I felt that even in my quote unquote virtual assistant role, well before I even knew what an online business manager was, because I was also Googling, like, exactly like you, Petra, because we're like kindred souls, how do I do this management thing? And that was when I came across the OBM. But the truth was I was already doing a lot of OBM type work, like yourself, OBM in disguise, just naturally by default of my personality. Like I'm really a big picture person. I love strategy. I love goals and vision. So for me, it was always like very natural to start to build the team in a way and eventually build the agency. You had asked how I ended up training people, and it was really it just sort of flowed really. And when I started to build my agency, I started to naturally train online business managers who were employees. So when I really, the beautiful thing about Israel is, from a employment perspective, is there's a lot of talent here. There's a lot of, and I think this goes to say for the entire world, because I know that, one of the things that we talk about is how, women have had to leave their corporate jobs as a result of COVID and go home and take care of the kids. And so it's not something that's new, but, it was always this sort of, it was always easy for me to kind of pluck very overly talented people who were very green to the digital world, right? Like they don't know what email marketing is or what online marketing strategy is or all of these customer relationship management tools. They have no idea. But, I always feel that this world is, for me, a lot of fun. Like it's always new. There's always something to learn. So it was really fun for me to start to get my feet wet training those particular people in the OBM. But the truth was I was always training people on team growth formula, even before the OBM stuff. Like I was working on helping people with systems, because as you know, that's my other love, is like SOPing everything. Which I'm glad I passed that on to you. I bet you already had it to begin with, but I love that I'm evolving your SOPs with my own, issues.
I remember I stumbled the first time over SOP, and I was like, okay, then I first put it in the Google Translate because I simply wasn't sure, and then was like, okay, that doesn't make sense. And then I saw your freebie that you're offering. I was downloading. I was like, oh my god, this is what you can do. Okay.
Partay. So I think that's really fun to do with clients and honestly, a lot of people need that in their business. So
yes,
if we've got the brain for it and we think like planning and systems, then why not?
I totally get the point that for some VAs, and I was the same in the beginning. Like I thought, okay, when I write down everything that I do, why would my client still need me if he knows how to do it? But the point is, the client will never do it. This is always the other person they will need. So but it makes you so much faster, especially with the children around. You're just like, I cannot remember on which task I am, but point number 8, task 8. Okay, this I can keep in my mind. Yeah, to jump back again. So that was so helpful. And it was also, yeah, I can't thank you enough for guiding me in this direction, because I remember, like, when I was watching your first modules, I was like, and now this makes sense. Thank you.
Right?
That's what everybody's talking about.
It's
So
really nice for me, because sometimes you need to be reminded of the sort of impact you're having on people. And, it's such an honor for me to be in a position of privilege where I have any opportunity to help mothers, especially, and, people who need this flexibility, whether you're caring for someone or you need to, like, for me, it was always like, well, I need a job with flexibility because I want to travel, and I want to give my kids this sort of work from, this stay-at-home mom upbringing, when that's just not a reality in today's world. It's just not.
Yeah, it's not.
And nor do I want to sit. I love what I do, so it's not even a question. Yeah. And I know you do too, because I see you.
Yeah. and what I love what I do, and I love to show my kids that this is normal, that mom doesn't have to stay 9 to 6 or 9 to 5 somewhere else, and we have to be on time. I mean, I'm German, we always have to be on time, so this is
my husband is German. I have a line of German. My grandmother was German. I'm very familiar with that personality.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, or maybe this is why I choose to be in Greece, because here's, like, time is more relative. Like,
yeah, it's like a little bit slower pace of life. Nice.
But because still our job sometimes is a bit complex, or things can turn into something complex, and then I like that it is more easygoing. And I sometimes in your stories I also see where you are living at your
I love that
camper.
I know we're trying to take our caravan out again, but we can't right now, obviously.
Yes, of course.
But we were supposed to be away this whole weekend, so it's a little bit, I mean, such is life, right?
Yeah, it's difficult. So for those who are just because in Germany it's still something new becoming an OBM. I know there are just a few people who call themselves like that. What would you say? What would be the first signs when you see, okay, something is guiding me to the next level? If they are a VA, or if they're maybe just still working in corporate as a project manager, and they are now doomed to stay at home and working from there, and there's the need of becoming an entrepreneur. What would you say are the first signs, and when is the best time to take the next step?
Totally. And a lot of people are like, entrepreneurship. I never imagined myself as an entrepreneur. I'm like, no, okay, do it. So I think one of the sort of telltale signs that I've sort of come across, and I feel this within myself as well, is this need to know the bigger picture. As a VA, you go in there, you kind of implement, and, you check the things off the list, and you do it to the best of your ability, and it's wonderful and amazing, but you don't have to know the whole big picture in order to do that. So I think when you're kind of wanting to know more about how the business works, and understanding more of the pieces, and you have an interest in things like people, which not all of us do. I mean, so, I've had my good days and bad days, but, you can manage people, and you have a sort of a love for systems, or not even necessarily a love, because I think that's kind of sometimes takes it a little bit too far, but this respect for a nice, clean, systematized, streamlined, automated business. Like a lot of us just love a good mess. Like, I love even in my house, like, I love cleaning. I love organizing things. I love throwing things away. And so I think it's just really a natural personality thing that we have, as women too. Like, I think as women also, we sort of have these characteristics inherently of, managing our children, managing the household. So a lot of this just naturally trickles off into our work life. So I have over the years met VAs who will tell me, I love being a VA because I love just getting the work done and getting out of there. I don't need to know the big picture. I don't need to necessarily have a relationship with the business owner and the team. I just get in and I get out. And then there's just this completely other side of, like, I need to know, and I want to know, and I want to help, and I want to do more, and I want to partner with my client, and I love what they're doing. So I think those are some of the telltale signs.
Yeah. I think so too. And for me, it was a big relief because as an OBM, you're working with 2 or maybe 3 clients. And it was such a relief, like following 2 visions, guiding 2 teams. That was like
It's a
more
lot.
fulfilling than having all this.
And your own team.
And my own team.
Yeah. That's actually 3 because I think we don't always prioritize. And that's always been my whole thing with my students is I'm always for better or worse, jamming the point of you have to make time for your own business development. Yeah. You have to make time, Petra, I'm sure, to nurture your team. I know you've built an amazing team. I've experienced your team firsthand. I know a lot of love. I can feel the love that went into that, It's like a craft. Yeah. So it's your team and the team. So it's already 3 clients.
Yeah. Yes, it is. And for me, it was always like my team is one of my big whys. Like, I wouldn't know how to do my work without them. And at the same time, they are my why I'm doing that. And still, like, because I'm in there are not so much of us in Germany. Like, I have incoming clients. So I'm also building up now an agency because I simply don't know how to manage all of that. And that's
great.
I mean, I just started the program a little bit over a year ago with you. And, I wouldn't have imagined like now having a team, running my clients and all that stuff and being with you now. So this is really amazing.
I know. Well, you're amazing. You've done so much. And I think you really, it's because of women like yourself that you are paving the way for the future of German women to understand. I think we have about 5 German OBMs that I've trained. And they're amazing. And, the funny thing is when I was in corporate here in Israel, when I first moved here, all my clients were German. I worked with Germans. I only worked with Germans. So I was actually flying back and forth to like Berlin and all over the place for about 2 years. So I spent a lot of time in Germany, which was wonderful. Amazing restaurants, amazing shopping. It was a lot of fun. But it really helped me to understand that you can operate in this online space because back then we were using like Cisco conferencing calls and like, it was like almost 15 years ago, but we were like using all of these different tools in the online space. So it really working with the German franchisees from Israel helped me to see that, oh my God. And also because I was, the business that I was working for was franchising English schools. Like maybe some of you guys know Helen Duran, like that was the company that I was working for. And so I just feel like they were very forward thinking because they were like, promoting English school and they were just very interesting people. A lot of them also were like expats and they were like from the UK or whatever, but like living in Germany. So there's a lot of different types of people. So I think it's going to definitely evolve. I see it evolving all over the place. I have been, especially for the last 3 years, and especially since COVID hit.
Yeah,
it's not an option. It's not an option to ignore anymore. The digital marketing side of things.
Yeah, it is. For me, I have to say that it's as sad or that as influencing the whole situation at the moment is for a year now. I remember, I was already in the program. I was still when this all hit up and we went into one of the first lockdowns. I was like, okay, tell me something new. Like this is all like I've been working now for 2 or 3 years. And
Zoom is like my middle name. And everyone's like, Zoom. I was like, Zoom's been around for like 100 years. Where have you guys been living?
I was like, where's the filter? Like I finally want to put something fun on that topic.
Yeah.
But I remember that there were like one of my first SOPs was writing how to use Zoom for my mom's teachers club. So she's
that's so great.
And the ladies were like, oh, how can we do it?
What a gift. What a gift.
It was amazing. I love that. There was also like one of my team members, sorry, but I have to mention this SOP because it was simply amazing. So she's working for like an ambulance service, but all on as volunteers. Wow. And they had this amazing Christmas service for giving presents to the homeless people and all the organizations. So she did it and she wrote an SOP for that. And it was so amazing guiding the people how to do all this stuff. Like, what's the Santa Claus SOP? So that was amazing.
That's the cutest thing ever. That's the cutest thing ever.
Cute.
I love that. What a way to forward, really.
Yeah.
And to use our skills in a good way, really, to help people. And, I just feel like I've been so lucky to work with so many different clients over the years to really sort of vanquish this entrepreneurial overwhelm, because like you had mentioned at the beginning, like, we're entrepreneurs. We're not great at everything. Our team complements the things that, we lack or don't want to do. So it's the same with our clients. And I feel like so privileged to be able to have helped people, just have a better work-life balance, feel more in control in their business. It's definitely great.
Yeah. Because what many people end up is when they started, they're like overworked, working crazy hours, having all those things to do and completely forget about themselves. And then it needs really like structure and systems to get along in this crazy entrepreneurship sometimes, because
it is crazy and it's so fast-paced. Like, I was watching something the other day, and it wasn't even from that long ago, but the technology that they were using were so like outdated already. I was like, wow, our world moves so fast. It's like dog years, it moves so fast.
It is like after a year, you can start, if you just drop out for a year, you can start completely new.
You really can. I mean, I've been talking this year about reopening my agency.
Yeah.
Daniel's almost 3 years old now, and we're working on we all obviously get a lot of reach out and people wanting to work with us. So it's something that we're experimenting with again.
Amazing news.
Yes.
I saw like agency coming up again. I was like,
agency coming up again, but in a different iteration, because I've made a lot of mistakes. I'm sure, you have and will, because I think it's just a natural sort of, it's a big thing. It's really much easier to be a solo OBM than it is to have a team. But then there's so many benefits. Like I bet, Petra, you can take time off, you know, with your kids and not really, like just take some time away,
Yeah.
So it's nice. It's important.
It's just such a good feeling if you can hand over some of your tasks and know that they get to be done and the ship will not sink.
No, it won't. It will sail better. It will sail better. It'll be like feeling like the glorious fleet, off into the sunset, where you're like, hey, wait, but what about me? We're like, oh, we don't need you anymore. We've got an SAP for that.
Yeah. And now it's Melly is here, so she is on my team, and actually she's my right hand. And it's good to see you. And so for example, it was also her like 2 weeks ago. Felix was having his 4th birthday. And it was like,
oh my God, wow.
It was so moving fast, and really, and it wasn't planned, but after I think over 3 years, I took finally a weekend completely without phone, without computer, and
wow.
And it wasn't planned.
Like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do with myself. I can't relax. Like, that's my thing. I'm like, I just need, if I only knew how to take it down a notch. Are you able to relax?
Yeah, I mean, okay, I was having my child's birthday party. Somehow, how you can do it? So I was busy.
You're still
with Greek families here. They are like, but it was amazing. Like, really, in the beginning, I was also touching like, where's my phone? Reminded me when I was living 1 year in Scotland.
Where did my pajamas go?
Or when I was 1 year in Scotland, where I was just trying to fasten the seatbelt, I was like, no, that's the door. Okay, there you go. It was the same feeling. So funny. Yes. Sarah, I heard that you're having some amazing news for the upcoming week for us.
So next Monday, yes. I actually have the link here. You think if I post it in the comments here, it will pop up for us on?
It won't within the Facebook group, but I will add that later.
Okay. So I'm going to pop it in here. So basically, next Monday to Thursday, we're running OBM Week, and OBM Week is an event. It's a free event. And if you go to sarahnokedin.com/Petra-OBM Week, it's a kind of a long.
I will link that later.
I'll put it in the private chat. Here.
Okay. Yeah, great.
So that is where we are housing our OBM Week. And OBM Week is really an opportunity for people, whether you are coming from corporate or you are a VA wanting to transition to OBM, or you're just curious to learn more about what it means to be an OBM. This is the week where I do live master classes Monday to Thursday, talking about all things and answering questions. And we have just really like a great workbook. It's really just a place for people to learn in a way that doesn't feel, just, again, I'm all about paying it forward. And this is going to be a great opportunity for people who just kind of want to get their business off the ground or want to learn a little bit more about how they can transfer from VA to OBM and all that good stuff. So yay, OBM week. We're really, really excited. Again, it's not something we run it like a few times a year. So it's really, really special when we do have this happening. And it's just fun because I get to go live every day, and it's just cool.
I love that a lot. Yeah, and it's all. I remember that. I think what was it, last September or something, or October? You did that, and there were already some people here from the group taking part. I was like, wow, this was amazing. Let's do that again. So guys, this is your opportunity.
Yes, this is the opportunity to do it again. We might do it maybe one more time this year, but this is the opportunity to get in, and it'll be, we're always updating the content because, this world changes so fast. So it'll be good times, and it's free. So you got nothing to lose. That's the other thing.
Yeah. And it's a wonderful experience. This is, So I have to say, like, I directly jumped into one of your programs, so I didn't take part of the chat, but I know
I'm the same way, and very not impulsive, but it's like, when you know.
Yeah.
And also you were, I find that it's sometimes it feels very uncomfortable for somebody who's maybe still in their corporate job and hasn't sort of ventured into entrepreneurship to recognize it as like an investment in their business and in themselves, and it can be sometimes very difficult. That's why we do these free opportunities to show people that, look, you can get a lot of value out of this free program, enough to kind of get the wheels turning. And then obviously we have some programs and stuff that we offer on the tail end of that thing for people who do want to up level into things like our accelerator program, and just those opportunities.
It's so amazing. Such a great chance you're offering to everybody here.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we really put our love into this, and it's an important piece of our why, which is to help women, especially moms, be able to support themselves, right, and their families, but have flexibility and not be like always under pressure. Because I can't even imagine myself.
Yeah. Exactly. I think that this is the vision I share. Like one of my main whys in life is freedom, but I don't want that freedom only for my own. Like, I want that for many women, as many as women as possible, to live their freedom, whatever they understand as their freedom, or whatever they imagine their freedom to be. And
aren't you looking at such an amazing example of that? Like living with your, and just, I think, showing your son also that, giving him that freedom as well to be, how much more fun. I don't know I know where you are, but I know where we are in the world right now. And the sky's always blue. The sun is always shining. It's just a beautiful place to live. So what an opportunity, and what freedom you're giving him as well. And these memories that will be with him for the rest of his life. How amazing is that? That is a beautiful thing, really.
And it's just like having all this challenge. And I think or at least it was simply a decision. Not like, I want to do it. Maybe I could. Wouldn't it be lovely? No, I just said, okay, I want to keep on that multi-local living. I want to switch countries. I want to make that possible. And then I just took the choice.
And you manifested that for yourself. Well, I when people are like, well, how did you do it? And how did you build this business? I often tell people that I didn't have another choice. I didn't have a choice. It's like when you're in a position where, you and I both want this sort of free lifestyle, which I think a lot of mothers want and women want. And, once you kind of decide that you're not going to subscribe to like the conventions of normal life or whatever, and you're up for this adventure that is like, there's like for me, there was no option. Like I had to make this work because I knew for myself it would be the only way that I could, fly to Canada when I needed to, and just not be working for someone else, truthfully, because I'm an entrepreneur like through and through, like also, which I know you can relate to. It's a blessing really to be like this. Yes, it's crazy at times, and my family thought I was nuts. They still don't know what I do, really, quite honestly. And my friends thought I was like, not, how are you going to actually make a living? And here I am a decade later, with still a thriving business and 3 kids. So
amazing. It's funny what people sometimes think what we're doing. Like there's a village down here in Greece where everybody believes like I'm doing criminal stuff in Bitcoins. I don't know. Because I'm working with a computer.
That's interesting.
But the other half of the village is angry with me because I don't share my secret.
Oh.
So it's fun to see what's going on. Yeah. But it is that freedom that we can aspire and that we can offer other people. And this is why I can't thank you enough also for next week.
Paying it forward really for me. I've had such a great, career. And I know that for others, this is just the beginning. Like you said, in Germany, OBM is still not so known. I mean, every year it gets a little bit more commonplace to be employing these roles and be leveraging these roles in businesses. So it's a wonderful time to be in this online space.
I think there are many people who need an OBM or who are simply not aware yet that we exist. Doesn't matter if it is in Europe or in the States, it's still somehow the same. And so there, this is all the chance are up to him. And at the same time, what was also de-stress or not stressing me anymore was when I was working as a VA, I was always Googling through or always on Facebook searching for those groups for some job offers. And I was going like crazy and seeing like, okay, there are already 20 people signed up for this task. I don't stand a chance anymore. And this is now just all gone because now I'm focusing on building up the network and they come to me. Like it's like,
that really is a true testament to your character, your resilience, your ability to make and also to just believe in yourself, because it's so easy to. I mean, I don't want to say it's easy to get VA clients because there could be someone out there who's just starting off their VA business, but after a while, what happens is it's really easy to collect all these various VA clients, but like nobody's really speaking your language, and it's not really your ideal client. So I'm really glad that you have that focus and that you're able to propagate this great referral system for yourself that's going to allow you. And that was the thing for me. Like, I was like, it was funny at the beginning when you were like, well, I've got all these clients, so I'm scaling an agency. I kid you not, Petra, those exact words came out of my mouth. Like, I swear to you. I was like, well, yeah, it's kind of like team, it's almost like you're backed into a corner. Okay, well, if I have to, I will,
Yeah.
So I totally resonate with that. I think it's just so important to use your intuition to guide you and to have confidence that you're making good decisions for yourself because you see other people who have, mastered this like you and I. So it's lovely. I think you are like so incredible what you're doing for the European community at large, really.
Thank you so much. It's just, I don't know, that there's just like an inner drive. So for example, with my agency, I remember I was journaling this in the end of December, so after Christmas, so between the celebration days, I was like, oh yeah, let's journal for what's up next year. September agency sounds good. And there I was in March, like people reaching out like, oh, I need somebody like you. And I was like, yeah, but I can't.
Just wait another couple months, I'll have it ready to go.
Yeah.
So who are you going to bring on first? Are you going to have someone from your internal team be able to start to
yes, on that? And I also do like a similar accelerator training for VAs, especially German speaking, who are just like who want to get to know us, because we have some differences, like let's say the one word which has a celebration day or its anniversary next week, the GDPR.
What anniversary? Like a million years of that.
It was on the 25th of May 2018. I was there. I survived.
I know, and it's.
No, I remember that in one call we had this topic like, and then you make the email sign up letters, like how many? And I was like, why are they talking about, like, I have one more, and then was double opt-in. Okay, yeah, thank you.
Yes, it's again, it's such a fast-paced, lovely space we live in, for better or for worse.
Yes. So, Sarah, what like a conclusion? What would you like tell people to step into the role of an OBM, to become, maybe when there's this missing part, like being brave?
Right, yeah. I love that.
Especially when all the people around tell you, like, oh, you have already.
Yeah. It's like, don't take advice from people not in the industry. Yeah. I think, about that bravery piece, I think, this is sort of our confident OBM philosophy, but really confidence comes through doing. So I think that there has to be this little piece inside of you that's hungry for knowledge and, is that quote unquote, like, student for life. So that sort of bravery, like recognizing that is something that is always going to be in the picture. And it's sort of like the you have to enjoy the journey. So there's that piece. And then I would also say, like, in the second part of the equation, so one is recognizing that, you do have to be open-minded and, open to these new ways of strategy and looking at the world. But then there's also this, like, real need to get clear on your why. And I feel like throughout this whole discussion, you and I have been peppering in our whys, our families and the freedom and the flexibility. But you have to find a why that can sustain self-doubt and can sustain, criticisms from yourself, from your family, from your, significant other, all of the things. Because it's not so commonplace to be in this role, although I think that's changing. So I think being really, like, spending some time journaling and soul searching and really getting clear as to why you want this sort of, like, lifestyle for yourself, because you're going to need that to be strong enough to withstand, just the highs and lows of entrepreneurship. Like yesterday, I mean, not to be like too much information, but like yesterday I wasn't feeling great, and I'm so grateful that I could, like, take a nap because I just needed to, like, be by myself. Like there's highs and lows all throughout the journey. And I think you just have to be okay with that. So being really clear about your why will help you to kind of that touchstone of when you're feeling like self-doubt and, oh my God, I'm stuck, and highs and lows and blah, 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 that you can look at your reason and be like, okay, I'm doing this for this reason. And now I have, like, the energy to carry on,
Yeah. This is
hard. It's not easy. This is not easy what we're doing.
For me, it was such a relief to know, okay, it's okay that I make mistakes, because everybody does mistakes, even though from far away it looks like, oh, she's perfect and she never makes mistakes. But yes, every one of us does the mistakes, and it's in a way
how we learn too.
Yes, and then to learn about that, this is a good way. And also that what was helping me is when you're stepping into the bravery, like, you have to be brave over and over again. You show up with confidence over and over again, and it will throw you back. And the thing is, like, all the obstacles that will be in front of you, they will not get less.
They will get more.
You get stronger.
Ambitious women. Yes. Like agency now, oh God, it's like a whole outside of my comfort zone. Like, I'm reopening my agency and it feels a whole lot of outside my comfort zone, even though I've done it already once. It's like, oh, because now I have different ideas and different, ways that I'm wanting to run it and such.
Oh,
so
great.
So exciting. Yes. And how privileged and lucky are we that we get to sit here and have this conversation and, teach other women and men that there are these options out there. So I feel really like it's just lovely. It really is.
Yes. Thank you
Thank you, Petra. It was so great being on here. OBM International. Because I know It's just so great. What a big old space. If you would have said to me back in 2009 that I would have been sitting here right now with you having this conversation, I'm like, no way. That would have been like I would have been stressed out for the last 10 years, you know?
But for me, for example, was somehow similar. Like last year when I was in your training, I was like, oh, having an interview with Sarah, that would be like amazing. And now here we are.
Yeah. And there will be plenty of more of these, I'm sure.
Yes, for sure. Because I remember that last year I wanted so much to see you at one summit in Iceland.
The one in Iceland.
Yes, and then it didn't
June
happen.
2022, we will be there. Sigrid, here we are coming. I got my ticket.
Great. Amazing.
Yes, definitely. I cannot wait.
Marjorie is here. I just see that she's here. So yes, so we then I'll see you next week again on the OBM week. I'm so looking forward to guys sign up for this special experience. And if you're still having any questions, because I know that yesterday we had some viewers who were not simply managing it to see it today because it's Wednesday. I don't know. I'll just make sure to ask all your questions in the replay, whether it's in German or English. We find translation, and because we'll all translate it. And thank you so much, Sarah.
Thank you so much. Have a lovely day where you are.
Yes.
Place. Thanks for having me on here. What a privilege. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye.